And so, after 3 amazing years, our Kickstarter campaign for Broken Sword 5, The Serpent's Curse, comes to an end. It's been a most extraordinary journey, and I just wanted to tell you a little bit about what it was like from our perspective, and to thank you again for your extraordinary contribution and for making it possible. Ultimately, if you don't reach your goal, then you get nothing at all. And the most amazing thing about that is that it brings the whole community, the passion behind, because the core fans really, really want this project to go ahead, and they realise that if the Kickstarter isn't successful, then everything will be lost.
I remember sitting playing Broken Sword 1 in the only PC in the house, which was in my mum and dad's bedroom, and them having a go at me to get off the computer, but I wanted to get past one more puzzle.
Ever since I was a child, like in grade school, I loved Broken Sword.
I loved the nostalgia, of course. I mean, coming back to Paris and seeing the characters was great fun seeing. And also, frankly, how bad Charles Cecil's acting skills, but it was just so much fun.
And cut. Perfect. Terrific work, guys. Thanks, everyone. That's a wrap.
So, what's next, Charles?
We raised more than $100,000 in the first day, which was brilliant because it took a lot of pressure off. It became clear that there was a demand and that actually we were likely to hit our goal. And throughout the 30 days, we reached our target of $400,000 about halfway through. And at that point, we could start thinking about what our stretch goals were going to be. One of the stretch goals, rather foolishly, was to add extra sections, which was then inevitably going to knock on and require redesign, but that was fine.
The finished game, obviously it was split into 2 parts, but I was very impressed with what I saw.
It's sort of one of the best experiences I've ever had because everything was all new to me.
But the fact that we actually had an impact on what went into the game, what the puzzles were like, what the art direction, slight little changes were and stuff, that to me was like a dream come true.
By the time we finally reached the end of the period, the 30 days, we had $850,000 from 15,000 backers, which was absolutely brilliant, not only because it gave us the funds to go to the next stage, but also we now had the opportunity to communicate with 15,000 of our fans and ask them their opinion. And what better way to write a game that you're confident will appeal to your fans than to communicate throughout the whole process. It was brilliant. It really was a win-win.
There's been various people who have been kind of in charge of looking after the backers and people who've been in charge of more of a technical side, and you didn't feel like he was always talking to just say one kind of entry point into Revolution. It was like everybody. So with the videos, the streams and stuff like that, you got to meet different members of the team, and you really felt like the project was something you felt very passionate about.
So we were able to start, which was fantastic. We had the funding to do this. We had great feedback from our fans, as well as George's jaw. Some other people had said, absolutely correctly, that when the characters, the rendered 2D characters, were set against a light, that they didn't quite fit into the scene. So we wrote some extra technology which gave a light rim around the characters for when they were behind a light, in front of a light. We launched the first half in part 1 in December of 2013. And what was fantastic is that the response was so good. People absolutely loved the fact that we'd promised to deliver a contemporary feeling point-and-click adventure game that looked forward in some ways, but from an interface perspective took a lot from the original point-and-clicks that we'd written throughout the 90s. And that gave us enormous confidence. So the game launched at the end of 2013 on PC, and then we were able to bring it to Vita, and then iPhone, and then Android.
It was like AAA quality, but on a mobile device. And I'll never forget, it was April, and I was playing the game because I was on my way to an event at AOL. And I remember playing the game and waiting for 2 hours to meet with somebody. So the fact that I sat there and played a mobile game for 2 hours kind of blows my own mind.
And so we come full circle. We've completed our Kickstarter campaign for Broken Sword 5. Thanks to you, we were able to develop it in a way that is totally new, that we've never been able to, with you.
Got so much from backing that game, I can't even begin to explain.
Some of my best friends have come from this Kickstarter. without a doubt. In fact, we're like a little family.
It was my first Kickstarter campaign, and it was great. I mean, I discovered a new word. I didn't even know that it was existing.
I stayed up way too late and got up way too early the next morning for about 3-4 nights playing through the first half.
And it leaves us deciding what we're going to write next, and a lot of people are emailing us to ask. So, on one hand, I'm currently writing with the team a totally original game. It's very much an adventure game, very much driven by a narrative. It would be foolish to talk about too much because it might change profoundly, so we will talk to you about it once we're clear that it works. I have what I think are some very nice ideas for a new Broken Sword, a Broken Sword 6. But the great thing is, because of the support that you gave us through the whole campaign, is put us in a position where we can decide and continue to work with yourselves to provide the kind of games that you guys will want to play. So from the bottom of my heart and on behalf of the whole team at Revolution, we really would like to thank you for all your support.